Nitanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyaita Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Good morning, kids. How's the weather out there? Is it all good?
Yes, good. Yes, Mata.
Okay. For us, it's
cold outside.
Yesterday it was Christmas with rain.
Oh, it was raining for you?
Yeah, because I live in Columbus.
Columbus, okay. Ohio?
Well, we in our Christmas Eve, we have all sunny.
It's all sunny?
Yeah, today is also sunny outside.
Where are you living, Govind?
I'm living in Houston.
Oh, Houston. Okay.
I thought you were in Florida.
I never knew that you were in Houston. Okay. All right. Shiva, where are you from?
But I'm from America.
No, where in America?
Midwest?
Midwest? Which place?
No, Georgia. It's Farmington.
Farmington. Okay, got it.
Farmington Hills.
Okay, Satvik, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Virginia, and yesterday was raining, and today it's very sunny.
It's sunny. Okay, Virginia. And who else? Nihal, where are you from?
He's from.
I'm from India.
Oh, you're from India.
Yes.
Oh, okay, it's very late for you, isn't it? 10:30?
No, I was from India. Now I'm in America.
Oh, okay, where in America?
America is like in the north.
No, where are you from? Like, which place are you staying now? You don't know? Okay, no problem.
Where are you from, Mataji?
I'm from California, and there's this place called Folsom in California.
I like there. West Virginia is like 2 hours away from me, and I go there to New Vrindavan.
Oh, New Vrindavan. Okay, great. That's awesome. Okay, where are you from, Mihika?
Mataji, I'm living in Houston, Texas. Like, it's on Aldridge over here, so it's like it's on Briar Forest Drive in Houston.
Okay, that is where Govind also is from, right? Govind and you stay together. I mean, you probably are from.
No, Govind's not near me. Like, he's in the same like city, but not like he's
Very
far
close.
away.
I'm a little far from her.
No problem. Okay, so let's get on to our.
I sometimes see her in the temple.
Okay, so Aditya and Varun, you want to say where you are from?
From or where we are right now?
Yeah, where you are. Where do you live?
In Sacramento.
Okay. Okay, kids, let's get started with our today's lesson, today's Ramayana class. Where is your mind now? Is it in Ramayana class? Is it going to be in Ramayana class? Are you preparing yourself? For any activity we do, if we can prepare ourselves, okay? So let's take a vow. When you are listening to the class, no meddling with the computer. Like the computer is there right in front of you. You can go to Google, you can start browsing, you can start doing things, or your mind can virtually go somewhere. You know that, right? So let's just focus on today's class because I'll be asking questions. Varun, are you there? I didn't hear from you.
Yes.
Is your mic doing okay?
Yes. In Mataji last class, at the end of last class, I was going somewhere and I lost my network, so I couldn't attend question and answer session.
No problem, dear. I'm going to recap now everything for you. Okay. So anybody remembers what we did last class, or is your mind forgotten everything?
Mine forgotten everything of Christmas.
No. You
Mataji, I
should not.
remember.
I do.
Okay, let's just go one by one. Okay, everybody, I want points from them. No excuses. Okay, let Mihika start, and then from Mihika we'll be going down. If you want, from now onwards, you start making some notes so that you can revise next class. When I ask you to do summarize, you need to summarize. I'll be asking everyone. Okay, go ahead. Mihika, you can start now.
I didn't attend last class, so I don't remember from last
No
class.
problem, dear. No problem. Whoever attended, I'm saying. Yeah, go ahead.
So Mataji, last class we did like the part when Ravana and Maricha make the plan of like Maricha becomes a golden deer and Ravana is going to be take form of a Brahmana, and they worked out the plan and made Rama Maricha made Rama go like somewhere else, and he shouted Lakshmana and Sita so that they would think that Rama is calling them, and Lakshmana would come there. So then Ravana did his work, which was to kidnap Sita by describing her beauty and then snatching her when he was like and then putting her on his flying chariot that he kidnapped from his brother Kuvera.
Wonderful. Okay, Varun, continue now. What happened? What did Ravana tell to Sita? You can say that part.
Mataji, I don't really remember.
No, you have to remember. See, Ravana was saying, right? So, are you a devata or what? Are you looking like one of the demigoddess? You're looking like goddess of fortune. Who are you? You should be under the. You should be. This 100,000. I mean, lot of servants should be serving you, and instead here you are all alone in the forest. Why are you here? See, you come to my Lanka, and I will make you the principal princess.
Mataji,
You remember?
Ravana tells Sita on how he will make her a principal queen, even though he has so many queens.
Yes, he's going to make her the principal queens. Then Sita started feeling somewhat, he's looking like a mendicant and he's talking all not good words, but still she's trying to she's just trying to be calm and composed. But at the end of the day, she says, oh no, I will not even survive for a moment without my Ram. And that is who I always want to be with. Like that, she says to Ravana also introduces himself saying he is the king of Lanka and he has several people under him, and everybody is afraid of him. You should just come with me. You should just leave this jungle, and with the ferocious animals, you should not live anymore. Like that, he was actually telling to Sita. And then Sita says, see, my name is Sita. I'm the daughter of Mithila, king of Mithila. And at the age of 9, I was married. At what year? At age of 9, she was married to king of Mithila, Rama. And Dashrath Maharaj installed Bharata as the Bharata as the heir apparent, and after banishing Rama for 14 years into the forest. And now you please tell me who you are. Ravana then excitedly replied, oh, you know what? I am Ravana. I am the king of Rakshasas. The demigods, they just tremble. Hearing my name, Ravana, they just tremble. You know what? That is my position. You beautiful one, now I have seen you. I will never again delight in seeing my other innumerable consorts. I have so many consorts. After seeing you, I cannot see them. You are so beautiful. I'm not even going to look at my eyes and see the other queens. My dear Sita, become my principal queen, and I shall have 5,000 maidservants for you under your command. Leave this forest and enjoy the beautiful gardens of Lanka. This is what I want you to do, dear my dear Sita. Hearing Ravana, Sita became enraged. She's saying, I am devoted to Rama. He's as steady as a rock and he's as grave as an ocean. He's sheltering me like a banyan tree. He gives me shelter and protection because the women, they are supposed to be given shelter by man, right? They have to be protected at all points in time. Once the husband, if he leaves to Vanaprastha, then the woman has to come under the care of the sons. So this is how they have to live under the care of somebody because they need to be protected. So I'm devoted to Rama. He's a mighty armed king. He has a broad chest and his face resembles that of a new moon. And he's very self-controlled and he's also virtuous. These are the qualities of Ram. And Rama is a lion among men. And you're like a jackal. And you want to possess this lioness? No way. How can a jackal possess a lioness? No way. It is not possible. Oh, would you dare to touch the sun and lift up Mount Mandara? Would you dare to do that? Would you pierce your eyes with a needle or carrying a blazing fire in your garment? Would you attempt to swim across the ocean with a boulder tied to the neck? Then why do you dare consider running away with Rama's wife? Will somebody pierce their eyes with a needle? If they do that, they are mad, isn't it? So she's telling, you are trying to do such a thing. You are trying to kidnap Ram's wife. Do you have any sense? It is like piercing needle with your own eyes. Like that she's saying. Rama is Garuda and you are a crow. Rama is ocean and you're a small puddle. Rama is nectar and you are stale gruel. Rama is sandalwood and you are mud. So how nicely she's comparing. See, he's all superlative qualities are seen upon Ram and all the bad thing she's just putting it upon Ravana. That is how she's comparing. He's Garuda, you're a crow, he's a sandalwood and you're a mud, like that. He's nectar and you're a stale gruel. You kidnap me, but as long as Ram lives, you can no more enjoy than a fly that flounders in me. You cannot enjoy. Even if you kidnap me, as long as Ram is alive, you never can enjoy. Although speaking boldly, Sita was shaking with fear. Thus, to further intimidate her, Ravana said, listen, my lovely lady, I am half-brother of Kuvera, the lord of wealth. After vanquishing him, I took up this Pushpaka chariot. See, Mihika said, right? What was the chariot that Ravana had? It was a flying chariot and it is called Pushpaka chariot and he stole it away from Kuvera. See, kids, I'm going to ask you questions just after I finish summarizing. If you're not paying attention, I'll not be happy, okay? Please listen. I just want some time from you and you understand, right? It is very important. Hearing Ramakatha is very, very purifying. You'll all become good boys and girls. Okay? So let's all, yeah, you should all listen because you all want to become good boys or not?
Yes, I want a good boy.
You want to become good boy and a good girl, right? And we need to listen then. Okay. The demigods are all afraid of me and wherever I go, the sunshine becomes like moonshine. Wind calms of itself. River stops flowing because of the fear. River even stops flowing. That is what is my position and fame. Forget Rama. He's just a mere mortal. What are you talking about? He will soon perish. Come to me and enjoy these heavenly delights. I passionately yearn for you. Do not disappoint me, Sita then replied. If you are truly Kurvera's brother, then why do you act with such wicked intentions? You are having all wicked intentions, carrying somebody else's wife? You think that's a good idea? No way, you're having wicked intentions. Being a brother of Kuvera, why are you having these wicked intentions? The ravisher of Indra's wife may survive, but whoever tries to molest me, they are doomed. They are not going to survive. Finally, Ravana lost all the patience he has. In the fit of rage, he revealed his gigantic form as fierce Ravana with 10 heads and 20 arms and sharp teeth. The king of Rakshasas then declared, if you wish to have a husband who is renowned throughout the 3 worlds, then you have to accept me, my dear Sita. Serve me and I shall never displease you. Why are you so fond of Rama, who has been banished to the forest? Why are you fond of him? What is there in him? Just come and enjoy with me in the heavenly, have all the heavenly delights and enjoy with me. Ravana then grabbed Sita by her hair with his left hand As if summoned, Sita, Ravana's golden chariot came close by. So the chariot also came close by now. And placing his right hand upon her thigh, the king of Rakshasas took the frightened Sita in her arms and ascended to the sky. This is what he did. He pulled her with his left hand, pulled her hair with the left hand, and then he kept his right hand on her thigh and took her to Lanka. I mean, he is now ascending to the sky. As they ascended, Sita screamed out. What did she scream out? Rama, Rama, come and save me. Punish this wretched Ravana. Come and save me, please. In desperation, Sita called out to the trees, the river, the birds, the animals, begging them to inform Ram that she had been abducted. She's telling whomever she's seeing, be it living or non-living, it doesn't care. She doesn't care. She's telling the animals, telling the plants, telling the birds, please tell Rama that Ravana has kidnapped me. Just then, Sita saw Jatayu sleeping while perched atop a tree. Sita called out to him, Jatayu, please help me. Please go now and tell Ram I have been kidnapped by this evil Ravana. So Jatayu, she saw him, and we know that Jatayu is the old friend of Dashrath Maharaj, and he's like a fatherly figure for Ram. When he was seen at the top of the tree, and Sita passed on this message to Jatayu saying, Jatayu, can you please inform and tell that Ravana has kidnapped me? Can you inform this to Rama? The fighting, then what happened? Let's see now. So now we are going to see how Jatayu is going to help in the scene. Hearing Sita's cry, Jatayu awakened. Seeing how she was being roughly handled by Ravana, he challenged the king of Rakshasa, saying, Oh Ravana, I am Jatayu. I am the king of vultures. How can you dare lay your hands on the wife of another person? How can you dare do that? Beware, you're carrying a poisonous snake in your arms. See, so many people are warning Ravana, isn't it? Not one, not two. We saw Maricha warned Ravana. Maricha being his own minister, he warned Ravana. And then we have Sita. She also warned Ravana. It is like piercing your eyes with your own needle. Who will do that? You are doing that, my dear Ravana. That is wrong. And then we have Jatayu here saying, is this the right thing to do? What you're doing, you're carrying a woman who's belonging to another man. Is this the right thing to do? So many times he has been warned. See how we don't pay attention to the advices that we receive. When some good advice is got, if you have some likes and dislikes, and if you don't like that advice, you'll say, go. No, I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to do. Why? Because your mind says so. Your impurified mind, your mind is not purified at all. And it will say some nonsense and you want to go ahead with what your mind says. Is that the right thing to do? So what is the right thing to do? We should have a value system by which we should go. What does that mean? Irrespective of what your likes and dislikes are, when you go ahead with the value system means whatever Gita says, whatever Bhagavad Gita or whatever Srimad Bhagavatam says, whatever Ramayana says, if we have that kind of value system, which says this is right and this is wrong, we go by that. If you don't know or don't understand, don't have any knowledge on any of these subject matters, at least your parents will have knowledge on these subject matters, right? And when they say something, would you mind listening to them instead of listening to your mind? If you listen to your mind, you're going to have trouble at some point later. You just don't see the consequence of it right now.
Listen to your mind.
You should not listen to your mind. That is what I'm saying. What you should be listening to is the value system. And value system means the scriptures, instructions from your parents, because they know the value system. If you listen to them, your life will be good. But if you don't listen to them, then you're going to have misery at some other point in time. It is just waiting. The misery is yet to bloom. You are just waiting to get that misery. Do you want to do that? And also, we have our duties, right? I told you 2 kinds of duties. What are the 2 types of duties that we have, that we need to fulfill? Aditya, do you know?
I'm not sure about the 3 types of duties.
2 types of duties. What
So,
do you
yeah.
do? What are your
Spiritual
duties?
and material.
Yes, that's all. Why you
Oh.
are saying, yeah, there are 2 kinds of duties. One is the spiritual swadharma, spiritual duty. Another is the material swadharma. That is the material duty. So, are we supposed to do 1 or 2 or both?
One.
Both.
Both, yes. But would you give preference to one over the other?
No.
No?
What's the question again?
You have to listen, dear Manhar.
I was coughing right now because I.
Oh, okay. So I was asking, what are the 2 kinds of duties and would you give preference over one over the other? This is the question. Go ahead, Mehika.
So Mataji, the 2 types of duties that we have are material and spiritual. We, to me, I don't. We should prefer. We should prefer on one. Actually, no. We should do both. We should follow it both. We shouldn't say that I'll not do the material one. I'll only do the spiritual one. Because if you don't do the material one, then there's no use of you being here. And if you don't do spiritual, then you're not gonna go back to Krishna. So, in that case, you should do both parallelly.
Yeah, you should do both parallelly, but we should give little bit more preference to spiritual duties also, because we have our homeworks at school. We try to always finish. But what about Krishna has given us some work? Krishna is saying, okay, you have to do your chanting. You should, my parents always come and say, hey, can you please do your chanting? Can you please do your Sandhya Vandanam? Or can you please do your follow up on some devotional activity? It should not be like that, isn't it? Like for material things, your parents don't interfere with you. Likewise, even for spiritual things, you have to take ownership of yourself. Okay. So not let your parents force you to do it, because it should become your habit at some point in time, because it is for your own good, isn't it? You will be peaceful, you will be happy, you will be satisfied. And when you start to serve Krishna, he's the reservoir of happiness. He's so much happiness in him. He will share the happiness that he has with you also. So your parents want you to be happy, isn't it? That is why they want you to also do devotional activity. And you should not be, they should not come and tell you, do it. You should voluntarily do it as a duty. Okay. So we should not be always told, oh, do this. Your parents, they must be free. You know your responsibility, because we know Krishna takes care of you if you do the duty, spiritual duty that is assigned to you. So you have to voluntarily do it without even your parents saying it. Can you all make this as a habit? Can you all do it? Please raise your hands up if you all can do this. I see Shiva, I see Mihika saying yes. I want everybody to say yes to this. Can we all make the spiritual duty part of our duty, like how we are treating the material duties as well? I see some hands up, but I don't see some more hands up. Can you all please lift your hands, dears? Very important.
I already do.
You already doing, like, okay, if you're already doing it, no problem. I see Shiva doing thumbs up and his hands up. Aditya, what's the problem with you, dear? You're already doing it?
I said yes.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Okay, I said raise your hands up. Okay, good job. All the kids, you have to do your duty voluntarily without your parents saying, do this, do that. Okay? No, you should definitely do it. If you have some chanting rounds, you do it. Yes, Mihika, you have something to say?
No, Mate, I'm just raising my hand.
Okay, good. So everybody must do their spiritual duty like you do your material duty, like that. Okay. See, if you don't do your material duty, your teacher will hit you like that. You have some sort of fear, isn't it? Or your grades will go down. Of course, in the spiritual world also, your grades are going to go down if you're not going to do your spiritual duty. It is just that you are not explicitly seeing it, but you're going to fall down, isn't it? Do you want to fall down from where you are? Because the biggest gift you have is Krishna consciousness. That is the way we can connect with our Supreme Father, isn't it? Why should you not do that? Your parents, they want you to be very, very happy, and you should all progress in Krishna consciousness so that they are all happy seeing you progress in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so this is what is the lesson that we can learn. And now coming back to Jatayu, he's saying, beware for you carrying a poisonous snake in your arms. You are carrying a poisonous snake in your arms. I am now 60,000 years old and without weapons. You are young with many weapons, but I don't allow you to carry away Sita. So this guy, Jatayu, he's quite old. How many years he is? 60,000 years.
60,000.
Yes, 60,000 years. And he's saying, I don't have any weapons with me. I'm old. And you are young. And you have a lot of weapons with you. And he's saying,
Right?
huh?
He's telling Ravana.
He's
He's telling Ravana.
correct. He's telling Ravana, why are you carrying a snake in your arm? You're a fool. Why are you doing this? And then he's saying, I'm 60,000 years old and you are young. You have a lot of weapons, but I don't have any weapons. But you know what? I'm not going to allow you to carry Sita. This is what I will not allow you to do. I warn you, give up this evil intention, or else you will prepare to be thrown from the chariot like a ripe fruit falling from a tree. See, I'm not going to allow you to carry Mother Sita because even though I'm old, I'm not going to allow you to do that. Thus, he challenged Ravana and angrily rushed towards Jatayu. He angrily rushed towards him. As the fighting began, it appeared that the two great mountains were striking one another. Now, Ravana threw many weapons at Jatayu, while giant vulture gorged Ravana with his taloned foot. Although many powerful arrows pierced Jatayu, the sight of Sita carrying upon Ravana's chariot enabled him to tolerate the pain. Can you all understand the mood of sacrifice of Jatayu, what he was going through? He was old, he was 60,000 years old. He already told Ravana, see, I don't have any weapons with me. I am old. You are having a lot of weapons with you. You look like a young guy. But you know what? I am not going to allow you to carry Sita to Lanka. Whatever I can do on my end, I will do. I cannot see with my eyes you taking Mother Sita to Lanka. While I'm alive, I can't allow you to go and take Mother Sita to Lanka. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to fight with you. Even though I don't have the strength and power like you, I'm still going to fight with you. So Ravana pierced this Jatayu with many, many arrows. And the poor Jatayu, he was tolerating the pain because the pain of Sita being taken away by Ravana was more than the pain that he could tolerate while being killed by Ravana. Are you all able to understand the scene, my dear kids? So this is toleration. See how one is able to tolerate. Jatayu was not able to tolerate the suffering that Sita Mata was going through. Sita Mata is like Jatayu's daughter, isn't it? And he could not see that suffering of Mother Sita, and hence he was tolerating the pain that so many arrows were coming and piercing with so many weapons. Ravana attacked this Jatayu. And look at Ravana. See what is happening. He became lusty, and due to his lust, he is ready to go to the extent of killing people also who come on the way. Are you able to understand the scenario, kids? So when you're having this lust and greed for something that you need to attain, you will go to the extent of even killing others, which is what, due to anger, due to your desire to attain that object, you can go to any extent. This is the another learning lesson that we see from Ravana's encounter with Jatayu. Jatayu warded off the onslaught of arrows with his wings and managed to break Ravana's bow with his feet. Gaining this advantage, Jatayu quickly cut off Ravana's armor, and with sharp claws, he killed the mules yoked to the chariot. He smashed the chariot to pieces while simultaneously decapitating Ravana's driver with his beak. His chariot broke and Ravana fell to the ground while tightly clasping upon Sita in his arms. As they witnessed the wonderful display of his prowess, all the creatures watching applauded Jatayu's valor. Somehow he broke the chariot of Ravana, but still Ravana did not leave Sita. Mother Sita, he was holding Mother Sita's arm very firmly. But looking at this, all the creatures, they started to praise Jatayu and started clapping for him because they were all proud of Jatayu's valor and power. However, Jatayu was old, isn't it? So he became exhausted. Are you all able to imagine the scene? He became exhausted. Ravana rose up to the sky holding Sita with one of his hands and bearing a sword in another. Condemning Ravana, Jatayu suddenly swooped down upon his back and began pulling at the hair so hard that the Rakshasa's king lips quivered with indignation. Pressing Sita tightly to his left thigh, Ravana struck back at Jatayu with a palm on his hand. Jatayu, however, dodged the blow and then tore off Ravana's 10 left arms with his powerful beak. He's just having this beak as his only weapon, isn't it? That is why he's using his beak all the time to kind of fight with Ravana. So every time he had to do something with the chariot or something, to the driver, he just uses his beak because that is the only powerful weapon he has with him. And Ravana's arms, however, were immediately replaced. So when he cut his one arm, his arm was replaced with a new arm. Automatically, a new arm came to him. And Ravana's arms, however, were immediately replaced. Leaving Sita aside, the king of Rakshasas began beating Jatayu with his fists and feet. Nicely, he started to hit Jatayu with his fist and feet. This is what he did to Jatayu. Can you all imagine, kids, how Jatayu is tolerating the pain? Even though he knew he can't win over Ravana, he knew that before itself. Before fighting the war itself, he knew, okay, I'm not going to be able to win Ravana because he's this powerful guy. But still, how mood of a Vaishnava is that they can see the suffering of others. If I am alive, how can I leave Mother Sita like that in the hands of Ravana? Let me be killed and not be, let me try my best to kill the enemy. If not, let me be killed, no problem. Like that was his mood. The fighting continued nearly for an hour. Finally, in desperation, Ravana took up his sword and cut off Jatayu's wings. Poor Jatayu. So Jatayu's wings, his feet and flanks, causing him to fall mortally wounded to the ground. Everything was cut. Greatly distressed, Sita rushed to where Jatayu lay down, embracing him with the tears in her eyes. Ravana, however, quickly grabbed Sita by her hair and carried her off as she cried out in grief, Rama, Rama, Rama. So can you all imagine? So how Ravana is pulling Sita with the hair. She's the goddess of fortune, and how she's being treated by Ravana here is very pathetic. And now Jatayu is wounded and he is almost going to die. And Sitama, she just happened to pacify Jatayu, and she happened to cry for Jatayu. But then Ravana quickly grabbed her by her hair and carried her back while she was crying out, Rama and Rama. Sita's cries caused the entire universe to fall out of order. Because Mother Sita is crying, isn't it? How can the universe be stable? The universe was faltering out. It was falling out of order. Everything became enveloped in darkness. In empathy with Sita's grief, the wind no longer blew. What does empathy means? Do you all know what empathy means? Okay, go ahead, Mihika.
Empathy.
Yeah, go ahead, Aditya. I know Mihika. Yeah.
Empathy. It's basically when you're like showing, you're basically understanding other people's feelings.
Exactly. Yes. So empathy means to put, see, for example, Aditya is going through trouble. Okay. But I am putting myself in Aditya's shoes and I'm trying to experience that particular pain that Aditya is going through. That is empathy. Are you all able to understand? Say, for example, your mother is hurt. She has a fire burn, but then you're not able to empathize with her. But you think, okay, as if it happened to you, and you can understand the pain, what she's going through, isn't it? So that is what is empathy. Are you all clear, kids, what empathy is? It's very important.
Yeah.
We need to cultivate the habit of being empathetic to people, understanding people's feelings, by putting ourselves in their shoes. Okay, very good point. And now what is happening? Ravana, so because of this, everything was turning dark. Okay, now sun lost its luster. Lord Brahma, however, would perceive the entire incident through his divine eyes, declared, oh, purpose is now established. So meaning we are having a purpose, right? I mean, God comes in this world to what? Protect good people, to kill the demoniac miscreants, and to establish dharma. And also for the devotees, he puts these pastimes, isn't it? So that we can understand how should be the mood we have to be in, how we should live the life by looking at these pastimes. So he comes into this world for these reasons. This will be one of the questions I ask. What is the reason why gods come? Why God comes to this world, and what is the reason why? So you should be able to tell me and help me understand why God comes. What are the reasons for why God comes into this world? And now what happened as Ravana? So now thereafter, Ravana rose to the sky, and Sita's ornaments, she had her ornaments. You know what ornaments are? Like the bangles, chains, whatever she was wearing, everything fell apart. Everything was falling to the ground. That's a good sign, isn't it? Because Rama can trace out the path that way. And anyways, the pearls from the necklace slipped down from her breast like a pure water of Ganga falling from the sky. Overwhelmed with fear and grief, Sita continuously struggled to free herself from Ravana's grip, reproaching him again and again for his wild, cowardly act. Why is this a cowardly act? Because he kidnapped Ravana. Yes, go ahead, Mishka.
Radhika, I wanted to answer the cowardly question.
Uh,
So he's basically doing a cowardly act because he's kidnapping the supreme personality of Godhead's wife, who's the goddess of fortune. So he's doing a very big mistake, bringing death to his. He's basically calling death.
Yes, he's basically calling death. And that is what we are seeing here, isn't it? So we are able to see that, he's performing this cowardly act. Why? Because, see, Rama is not there. He kidnapped Sita during the time when Ram was not there. Isn't that a bold act? Is it a bold act? No. In Rama's presence, if he was to carry Sita, that's another story. But he just carried Sita without Rama being there at that point. And that is why it is called cowardly act. Another question that I'll be posing to all of you. Okay. So what is the purpose of Lord's appearance? And then why this is considered a cowardly act? And what happened between Guha and Ravana? How was this fight carried on between the two? So this is something that I want you all.
Is Jatayu.
Sorry, Jatayu. I always confuse. Okay, very good listening, dear Govind. Wonderful. That's what I want. And now we are seeing Sita's ornaments are all slipping off to the ground. The pearls from her necklace slipped. And then overwhelmed with fear and grief, Sita continuously struggled to free herself from Ravana's grip, reproaching him again and again for his cowardly act. As Ravana sped towards Lanka, all creatures appeared to lament. There is no dharma, there is no truth, there is no gentleness. Her loose hair waving in the wind, her mark of tilak erased, her face was devoid of cheer. Sita moaned, "O Rama, O Lakshmana." This is what was happening with Sita. Just then Sita, she saw five monkey chiefs sitting atop of a mountain. Unnoticed by Ravana, she took off her silk upper cloth and some jewels and dropped them in the midst of the forest dwellers, hoping they would inform. She's just one by one, she's just taking off so that she can somehow or the other inform Ram that she was being carried away by Ravana, and this is the route they happened to pass. As the monkeys stared with blinking eyes, Ravana carried Sita towards Lanka. Like many other materialists, Ravana risked everything to gain the object of his desire. See, he risked he's risking one by one. He's doing a lot of bad things to get Mother Sita. So you can understand, right? When you have interest on something, and when somebody is trying to oppose that, then you go to the extent of being disrespectful to the other person. You would even go to the extent of killing the other person if you are so like a Rakshasa demon. That is what is the tendency even in this material world. We don't see as children, when parents say something, and if you are not in alignment with that, you will start to be disrespectful with your parents, when in fact you should not, because we understood you cannot reach God when you have the mood of anger, isn't it? One of the qualifications is you should not be anger. You can't
That
go to
is,
Goloka.
we have 3 moods of nature.
Yeah. So anyways, so that is very important. Anger, lust, all should be given up. Okay. And while carrying Sita across the ocean to his kingdom, he relished the thought of having successfully abducted her. He felt, yes, I got Mother Sita. How beautiful is she? I'm getting her to my palace now. And blinded by lust, he failed to realize the object of his desire was actually death personified for him. See, because everybody want him. He's carrying a poisonous snake. Jatayu said this. And then Sita Mata also said, you are piercing your own eyes with your own needle. And Maricha also said, because now he doesn't understand. He's carrying
He was just
death
really
person.
greedy.
Yes,
Wait, that was
because
Sita,
of his,
right? That was because like
because of his greed, he is doing what he's doing. Now Ravana is saying, yes, I got Mother Sita as soon as he abducted her and brought her to the palace. And he felt as if he has
Him
achieved.
getting Sita is not good.
What is it?
Ravana capturing Sita is not good.
Yeah, it is like death personified for him. He's thinking he's got the object of his desire, but he's actually going to die. Because because he he kidnapped her. It is like death. He's carrying the death. The goddess of fortune always serves the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. When materialists try to enjoy her, she manifests to them as Durga, the deadly material nature. That is why we always have to do charity. Whenever we earn some money, we need to make sure that we are sharing it with Krishna, isn't it? Otherwise, you will be no less than a materialist. The materialist always uses his money to enjoy for his own sense gratification, isn't it? I want to go there. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to New Zealand. I want to enjoy there. But what about Krishna? If we are forgetting Krishna, then absolutely Lakshmi Devi is not going to be happy with you. And she will become Durga and she will show her nature. As the mistress of this world, Durga rides a tiger and carries a trident, isn't it? Durga, we all know, she's the deadly material nature and carries a trident whose prongs are the threefold material miseries. So who gives the miseries? The miseries are coming from body, mind, and Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, and Adidaivik. Due to the nature also, the material miseries come to us. And we need to be very careful, because Durga can inflict the pain upon us at any point in time, and hence we have to make sure that to always, if there is Lakshmi, if there is enough Lakshmi for you, then always give the rest to the charity and make sure that Krishna is happy at all points in time. Indeed, no one, not even the great scientist or conqueror, can counteract the sufferings meted out by Durga. Nobody can conquer that. Thinking himself more powerful than God, Ravana dangerously ignored the reality. He thought, I'm very powerful. Ram is just a mere mortal. And Avijananti Mamuda, right? Some people think God to be mere mortals because he comes to this material world as a human being. They think God is not having powers when they come to the material world. That is Mamuda. They are foolish people. Those people are foolish. They don't have any understanding. And that is the situation that Ravana is. He doesn't have, he's now a fool because he has ignored the reality. After crossing the ocean, Ravana took Sita into the inner apartments of his palace. Then he ordered his fierce Rakshasi attendants, watch over Sita most carefully and let no one see her face without my permission. See, watch her out very, very carefully. I want you all to watch her out very, very carefully. She should not see anybody else without my permission. Let her have gold jewels, the best clothing, ornaments, food, whatever she may desire. Let her have it. However, take heed of my warning. Anyone who dares to utter one harsh words toward her, they will die in my hands. Anybody tells her something, you just scold her or do some bad things with her, I am going to be personally killing you with my hands. After this, the Ravana called for 8 Rakshasas, saying, ever since Rama killed all the Rakshasas at Janasthana, I feel like an intolerable enmity towards him. Indeed, I'm not even able to sleep peacefully till I kill Ram. Go now to Janasthana and after spying on him, bring back the information that you gathered. So now go and spy on Ram. He calls out for 8 powerful Rakshasas because he's not able to be peaceful now. And then see one after the other, bad desires are coming and sprouting. Then again, Ravana went to see Sita, being overwhelmed with desire. Upon entering her quarters, he found her in a distressed state, surrounded by numerous Rakshasas. Bathed in her own tears, Sita appeared like a wind-buffeted boat at sea or a doe strayed from his herd, surrounded by dogs. Although she was unwilling, Ravana forced Sita to accompany him on a tour of palace. The opulent palace resembled that of demigods with thousands of servants waiting to carry out Ravana's desires. Imagine when we have just one servant to clean out something, we feel so happy. We have thousands of servants serving Ravana here. And Ravana was so desperate to show his opulence to Mother Sita. And Mother Sita, she was not at all interested in the opulence because she herself is the goddess of opulence. Why would she be interested in the opulence that Ravana has? But even then, he forced her and he's showing her the opulence that he has. The opulence is the house. Obviously, he's giving a tour of his palace. This palace resembled that of the palace of the demigods. Many rooms had caged with exotic birds, and palace walls were covered with intricate designs. See, jewels were embedded in the walls. Can you imagine the opulence? The precious jewels, they were all embedded in the walls. That much opulence he has. The couches were made of ivory inlaid with gold. The musicians were playing sweet melodious songs, and lotus flowers and fountains adorned the palace gardens and ponds. As she viewed the spacious, fabulously decorated rooms, each containing thousands of women adorned with untold valuable jewels, Ravana explained, Lanka is inhabited by 32 crore of Rakshasas, excluding the aged and the infants. And 1,000 of these are my personal servants. So 32 crores of Rakshasas are inhabiting in Lanka, and 1,000 of them, they are personally my servants. Oh, lovely Sita, if you are wise, you will fulfill my ardent desire and become my principal queen. I am tormented by love for you, and I shall be devoted to you alone, not anybody else. Even though I have so many queens, I'm not going to be carrying them at all. If you are going to say yes to me and agree to me and ready to fulfill my desire, then I'm just going to have you alone and only you. Please grant me your favor and look upon me with affection. Look upon me as if you're affectionate with me. Your youthful beauty is fleeting me. You should enjoy life with me and forget this insignificant Rama. Please do that, and I'll do everything that you need, that you can ever think of. So with this, we will conclude today's session. And what we can do now is go for the question and answer session. Are you all ready, kids? It's such a beautiful segment. I hope you are all going to be able to answer the question and answer session. Okay, so let's get started. First question is, can you just tell me briefly about the encounter with Sita and Lakshmana, the exchange of talks that they were having? Manhar, initially.
So first Lakshmana, Maricha was making a noise of Rama. He was saying Sita, Lakshmana, and then Sita thought it was Rama saying it. So she told Lakshmana to go. Lakshmana said, "This is the Rakshas tricking us. So I should not go because he's gonna trick us, and then I'm gonna go." Then he could also feel something bad is gonna happen when he goes. So then he was telling Sita not to tell him to go, and then said, Sita just said, why are you so like? She said, you are not Rama's brother. You are a assistant of Bharat. You're the assistant of Bharata. You came to kill Rama, and then
Okay,
in the
thanks,
meantime,
Manhar. Govind will continue from there. Go ahead, Govind.
And then he still continued. Sita said, please go to the forest and help Rama. But Lakshmana said, I can't do it because my older brother said to stay with you for all time to protect.
Mm.
But Sita got even more angry, and then Lakshmana went to the forest, and that time Ravana saw from his chariot on the ground that the coast is clear, and he went down, and he was like a mendicant, and he said to Sita, "Can you please give me some grains?" And Sita said yes.
Yeah.
And
okay, let Mihika continue from here.
yay!
Again, you'll be asked anytime.
Okay, Mataji. So, as far as I remember, Ravana, he did not ask for any grains, but instead he was describing Mother Sita's beauty, and she felt strange that this is weird because any Brahmana or mendicant doesn't describe someone's beauty or anything.
Very good point.
Just
please listen to that. No mendicant will talk about the beauty of a person, external beauty. They look at the inner beauty, which is the qualities, isn't it? Very good point. Go ahead, Mihika.
And but still she didn't bother to say anything. She just stayed quiet and tried not to offend the Brahmana, because from the outer he was a Brahmana, even though from the inside he was Ravana. And when she, after Sita introduced herself, it was Ravana's turn. So he didn't say I'm a Brahmana or anything. He said I'm the king of the Rakshasas, and he gave his whole actual introduction. And he said patiently asked Sita to come to Lanka and be the principal queen, but Sita, with harsh words and mean words, because she didn't want to, she refused to Ravana. So when he lost his patience, he just held Sita Mata's hair and pulled her to the chariot.
Wonderful.
With one hand with his left hand holding her hair, and with his right hand holding her thigh, he lifted her up and put her in the chariot, and then that led to the time of Jatayu.
Wonderful. So now Jatayu's encounter. Aditya, start off.
Yeah, so about Ravana, right? And Sita.
Jatayu and
Sorry,
Ravana.
yeah, Jatayu and Ravana. Like Jatayu, he could not like attack. Like he didn't have any weapons at all, so he was using his beak to like get rid of the driver, and he was using only his beak and his wings to deflect all like the arrows, and he couldn't do much more because that's all he had.
How old was he?
He was 60 something thousand years old.
Yes.
What was it? 61,000?
60,000 years.
60,000 years old, yeah.
Go ahead.
So Ravana kept firing arrows at him. Then he pushed them away with his wings. And Jatayu said I'll do anything to make sure that you don't take Sita, even though I don't have anything.
Even though he was going to be defeated, because what was the concept on tolerance that you learned from here, from Jatayu?
Oh, I know.
Tolerance. Concept on tolerance.
I don't know about tolerance, but he was Jatayu, he was like, oh, I'll do it, even though I know that I'm not gonna lose. I'll put in my
So the tolerance means he was able to tolerate the pain of Ravana more than
yeah, because I don't know. He was able to tolerate the pain of Ravana like attacking him because he knew Sita's pain was even more.
Yeah, Sita being like a daughter is carried away, and how can you see your daughter being carried away by some stranger, isn't it? What will a father feel? That was what Jatayu was feeling. How can I let, even though I am old, I just have to protect my daughter. Even though I am killed, I am tortured, no problem. I will go through that. But I can't see my daughter being carried away. Okay. So now, what was the encounter in the Lanka? I mean, what happened there, Varun? Can you explain the scenario?
Okay, so basically what happened in Lanka is that Ravana told Sita how the entire of Lanka, he had so many Rakshasas, and 1,000 of the Rakshasas in the Lanka were all of his servants. And then Sita, she didn't even like that, and Ravana, she kept telling Sita on how Lanka, like the entire of Lanka has so many Rakshasas, and how he has so many of the Rakshasas that have inhabited Lanka. He has 1,000 of the Rakshasas. 1,000 of the Rakshasas in Lanka were his servants.
Okay, how many are the people? The total number of people in the Lanka?
I'm pretty sure it's like 300,000.
32 crores.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, Satvik, can you tell more about what Varun had? So whatever Varun didn't say, like what was his proposal to Sita? Satvik?
Yeah, I think Ravana likes Sita because of our external beauty, not her internal beauty. And also in his kingdom, he had embedded jewelry into the walls.
Exquisite. He wants to show Sita the opulence of the palace, isn't it? So he was, if the palace was so beautiful, it is equal to the palace of the demigods. That much beautiful it was.
Yeah, can I say something else?
Wait. Satvik's turn. Let's just make sure Satvik speaks out. And what did he say, Mother Sita? That she said something, right? Unique, very, very unique. What did he say?
Oh yeah, he said like no one can see Mata Sita, and like no one can see her face, and if they see her, then the Ravana will destroy them.
Yes.
And also if they tell her bad things or like even a scolding, then he will destroy him with his own hand.
Yes, that is what is important. A very, very important point. He didn't want Sita to be troubled by anyone. He was going to even kill anybody who troubled Sita. So he was very, very attached, in the sense, very affectionate. All he wanted Sita to do was give him an affectionate glance, and I will take care of the rest. You just banish this. You just forget about this insignificant Ram and come to me. Now, what about Shiva? Are you there?
Next.
What is it, Govind? Yeah, who's talking now? Varun, go ahead.
Mataji, and Ravana, his wives also had jewelry on them that nobody knew which one.
Nobody
knew the jewelry that they were wearing.
So many queens were having so many exquisite jewels that it's priceless.
Bed also has gold.
Yeah, they have gold and very, very precious jewelry. Shiva, are you there, dear? Shiva's there? Shiva? How many people how many people want Ravana not to do this?
Like Maricha wand and Nita wand and Jatayu wand and
yeah, that's about it. So that's so far who we see have want. And why did Ravana do what he did?
Because because Rama wasn't there when Lakshmana wasn't there too.
Yeah, and he was greedy and lusty, isn't it? He wanted to fulfill his karma or desire, and that is why he did what he did. He went to the extent of kidnapping somebody else's wife. He went to the extent of killing people when his desire for object is going to be taken away. So he did all these heinous acts because of that lust, right? Very good, Shiva. Very
Yeah.
good. The points that you mentioned about Maricha were trying to warn him, Sita trying to warn him, and Ravana, and who else? Sita trying to warn him, Jatayu trying to warn him. But even then, he didn't pay attention to any of them. And he's having death personified in his hand. Carrying Mother Sita, he thinking he's achieved something in his life, but in fact,
he's calling for death.
Correct. He's calling himself to be dead soon. Okay. Anybody else wants to answer the questions? Nihal, you want to answer?
Mataji, can we answer again?
Nihal, I don't know if, okay, Nihal is not here, maybe. Anybody? Akshara, do you want to answer, dear? I don't hear.
Okay.
Okay, so the next set of, okay, the next set of questions, Mihika, you can ask a question to somebody, whoever you want.
Okay, Mataji. So I will ask. Okay, I'll just ask Manhar the question. The question is that like what was the beginning, like how did Ravana kidnap Sita? What was the background story?
What's the question again?
What's the background story for how like Ravana kidnapped Sita? Like how did he kidnap her?
So Ravana came in a Brahmana form, and he described Sita's beauty, and then he said, "Why are you living in this forest? Come with me." And Sita said no. And then Ravana was describing her beauty more and more, and then she still wasn't coming, and then Ravana got impatient. Then he revealed his own form, and then he took Sita on the Pushpa.
Good job. Okay, so what are the two kinds of duties? We didn't ask that, right? What are the two kinds of duties? Varun?
The two kinds of duties are material and spiritual duties.
What should you do both, or what you should do?
You should probably do both, because we need the material duties for like school and like the material like education and stuff, but then we also need spiritual duties to like go back to Krishna.
Correct. So should your parents force you to do a particular activity, or you should do by yourself to please Krishna?
By yourself.
Yeah, go ahead, Govind.
Go by yourself.
You go by yourself. Aditya, why should we do what we do? I mean, why should you not be forced? Why you should do it as a duty instead?
Because Krishna is seeing like the amount of devotion you're putting into it, and if you're doing it just because somebody's asking you to do it, then he's gonna be like, oh, I don't think this guy's actually
little disappointed. Why do you want to disappoint Krishna, isn't it? If you do it for the love for him, to please him, even do it as a duty for him, no problem. But you are doing it voluntarily, like how you are doing your material duties voluntarily. Like that, you have to do your spiritual duties also voluntarily with affection, not with any force. I mean, of course, your parents are forcing because they want to make it a habit in you. But you don't want that, isn't it? You are all big boys and girls now, and you want to do all your duties by yourself. When you do it, you get that power. You get power to tackle the whole day, right? Krishna gives you the power to tolerate. Krishna gives you the power to take care of any situations that come on the way. You'll be able to tolerate through that. Okay, Mihika, what is your question?
Like the Pandavas.
Like the Pandavas. Okay, what is the question, Mihika?
So Mataji, it's like not relating to the class, but it's like like a normal question. So it's like one day in my school, one girl, she said only Christians believe in God. So is that actually true? Like, is that actually like what's true? I mean, like it's not true, but what should you do at that time? Should you say something or just stay quiet?
See, you can stay quiet in that kind of situations, because people, they'll not be willing to listen, and they may tend to go into an argument also when we try to say something. So it's better to say, just stay calm. In this United States, we have Christians. Majority of people are Christians. So that girl is probably under illusion, thinking, okay, it's only Krishna. I mean, it's only Jesus that is there, or something like that. Probably she's under illusion, right? She doesn't know about Krishna, and it's very tough for you to explain about Krishna and make her convince. And this may lead to an argument. So I fear of that, and hence I would just stay away from that conversation, not saying anything further. We should just be happy with the fact that they are at least believing in God. So that is what is important. Okay. So let's just be happy with that fact. Good job.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Manhar, go ahead.
Like, I'm not just ask it to Govinda. How old was Jatayu?
Yeah, who do you want to ask?
Govinda.
Govinda.
60,000.
Correct. 60,000 years.
I think it was 16.
No, 60.
What?
Okay. All right. So we can all adjourn for today. You've all been wonderful kids. And maybe next week I'll not be able to attend Ramayana class. So we'll be seeing a week after next. Okay. So we all will have a good New Year's Eve and New Year's celebration. We'll all have a good beginning of the year. Try to pray to Krishna that you all become sincere in the process of devotional service. Avoid things that is not recommended in the scriptures. Okay. Let's all be good people. Okay, let's pay our humble obeisances to all of them. Then you should not leave the call abruptly. I told you, right? Only after we finish our prayers, then you leave.
Ended.
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sandubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrind ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Ramayan ki jai. Hare Krishna.